Hey guys, it's Miss Kelly Sue with Cleopatra Art Studios, and we teach kids and families how to paint and create together. I'm just gonna flip me around there. That looks weird. Now my hair looks weird. Okay, bad hair day. But you couldn't tell the other way. But so we do these regularly, and they're just a way for us to, kind of get the word out about what it is we do. We teach kids and families how to paint and create together, and just to love on you guys a little bit, and hopefully you'll have a good day. So today we're gonna paint Halloween Kitty. I think it came out October before COVID, and we called it Scaredy Cat instead. And it was just a lot of fun. The paints that you're gonna need today is some purple, some magenta. Oh, magenta was a problem child with me today. Some magenta, and these are just, optional. Choose the color palette you like. Some white, some black, going back off screen. Some yellow, some orange, because we're talking pumpkin for sure, right? Red, I have a brown that's kind of a cinnamon brown, and it's called burnt sienna. And then, any metallics that you want are optional, but I like to bling it up a little bit. So we have silver if you want, copper if you want, gold if you want. Kind of see the theme here, if you want. But to start with, we're gonna squeeze out a little white, a dot of black, the color of your sky. And I did purple and magenta. You guys see how much I'm putting out there? Not that much. And I am going to draw my pumpkin in burnt sienna so you can see it. And if you prefer, you can just use a pencil. So obviously my original design is on canvas. It's 11 by 14, but we didn't need to mess around with the tracer. I'm gonna break it down for you. It was a kids class. So I'm going to use my mixed media book because I don't need another Halloween Kitty painting. So I'm gonna go ahead and angle down my camera. We're gonna get started. Paintbrushes real quick. You're gonna need a detail brush, something small, 3/4 flat or a chip brush, and then a medium round paintbrush. So these paintbrushes here, I've been talking about them on my Facebook page, and they're from Walmart. They're kids pack, or for just three and up. There's 6 in a pack for $5.89, so it's under $1 each. I'm pretty happy with them. You can see I've used this one about 10 times, but I leave my paintbrushes in water just because I'm teaching all the time. So it might be a good purchase for your family. I am not an affiliate at all in any way, shape, or form for this particular product, but I like to try new things and let you know how they're doing for me. So I'm gonna angle down and flip upside down. Let's see how we're doing here. I'm upside down, y'all. Okay, more. I've flipped my camera completely off the stand at least 3 times this week. So if you hit the floor, just know that I'm gonna bounce right back up like nothing happened, and we're gonna get started. Mr. John is on the computer. Mr. John will answer all your questions or shout them out for me. If you have a shout out you wanna give to somebody, happy birthday, hey, don't eat all your candy, go ahead and do that. And Mr. John will tell me all about it so that I can share it with you. So I'm on 4. Whoops, found it. I found me. Okay. So let's go ahead and draw our pumpkin first. Then we'll work in the sky. We'll work all around so we don't have to spend all of our time going to the hairdryer. So we're gonna get some dogs that are gonna be running back and forth. That's just how it's gonna be. So I'm gonna grab my, just a small detail brush. I'm gonna get it wet. I'm gonna draw it off. So kind of decide where halfway is. Let's look at our canvas real quick. So halfway is gonna be right basically where the moon will start. So I wanna be a couple fingers below halfway for the top of the pumpkin. So here's halfway. I'm gonna stick a couple fingers there. I'm gonna put a little dot. If you're using a pencil, go ahead and just use a crisscross. We will leave this video tutorial up for a little while so you guys can grab it if you burn the house down and the kids are running and Junior needs its diaper changed, whatever. Things happen, huh, John?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we're gonna, actually I wanna go a little lower than that. Boom. So we're gonna start with a great big upside down skinny U. Nothing special. It's just real skinny and it's long. So this is halfway. This is quite a bit lower than halfway. Thanks for joining today. Go ahead and give a shout out. Tell us where you're watching from. We are in Spokane, Washington now, and it's gorgeous. So all we did was paint a skinny U. Now, as long as you can draw a candy cane, you're gonna be fine. I'm gonna go to the top and then off a little bit because I don't want to be right on the side, and I am going to do a candy cane. It's kind of skinnier than the center because if you think about it, the center will be the one that's going to really be the fatter one. So then I'm going to come over here and we're going to do a candy cane again. It's a little lumpy bumpy, but God didn't make all the pumpkins alike. So you can raise that up if you want. I'm deciding I like it. Okay. Would you answer Trish's
I'm sorry, I don't have
question? Hey, so she just has to scroll down through our feed and she'll find it. Okay, so you can leave it like that. A lot of kids like to keep them really simple. If you want to make it a little bit more interesting like I did, let's get it done. Let's go ahead and do that. So she went into the messages. So I'm going to do another one and another one. So a great big U and then candy cane, candy cane, candy cane, candy cane. Pretty simple. Now the whole premise on this was, okay, so what if the cat was the handle? What? So, yeah, because I tried to do this for the kids with a handle too. It was just too much going on. So I was like, what if the cat jumped up and it was in place of the candle or of the handle? And so that's what I'm going to go with. So all I want to do is connect the back, like the back lumps, and I'm not going to worry about my handle. So back lump. So all I'm going to do is do a curved line or a frown, guys. Hold on, let me put that there. A frown connecting the middle of the back candy cane to the middle of the upside down U. I know you got this. I know that was crazy, but that's how we're doing it. Same thing here, a frown from the middle of the outside candy cane to the middle of the upside down U. And so the reason why we're drawing this first is because that way we don't get that purple background behind our pumpkin and then have to give it a ton of coats of white. Because if you are painting with a kid, there's nothing more boring to a child than redoing the same step over and over again. Even Mr. John, we lose him, don't we?
Huh?
So take a minute, go ahead and finish that. Give us a thumbs up or a heart if you're ready to move on to the next step. So were you able to find her? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So thanks for joining, guys. Let us know, what you're going to be for Halloween. Oh, hey, where'd my kitty go? I had kitty ears. I just don't know. Oh, here they are. Kitty ears. Just know that I now have my kitty ears on. All right, so we're going to worry about the moon right now. So if you can draw a pretty decent circle, go ahead and go for it. You can do that with your pencil. I'm going to go ahead and cheat because I know most of you want to cheat. And you can just pencil around this shape. Hello, pencil. If I was a pencil, where would I be? Okay, let me reiterate. If I was a sharp pencil, Mr. John, where would I be? Because I've already noticed that was not sharp. So I'm just going to, so where am I? I'm just a couple fingers up from my pumpkin. I have a couple fingers at the top. I'm just gonna draw around my shape. And I have that good old duct tape. Hey, Mr. John, do you think this is like a 5-inch shape? It's bigger than 4.
Yeah.
So maybe 5 inches is what I did. If you want a big dinner plate moon, pull out the dinner plates and go around them. It'd be really pretty to have a moon right behind the pumpkin. So just because I'm suggesting one thing doesn't mean you have to stick to it, guys. And I know, because I can see that you can see that a little bit, but not a ton. So what we're gonna do is we are going to pick up a round paintbrush, nothing too big, nothing too small, kind of medium. I know, I'm Goldilocks today. Go ahead and go ahead and dry them off in long strokes so your paintbrush hairs don't like become a troll. Don't do circles. And we're gonna make a nice light gray. So how do I do that? I'm gonna pull out a bunch of white and drop in and get a little gray. So we do have some giveaways today. We're gonna give away one of our kids' bi-monthly art boxes, and that's a good one. It's super cute. So if you make a comment on here at all today or anything, we will, you know, pick somebody, put y'all in a hat, and then we'll contact you for your mailing address. So I'm just going to outline my moon. I'm gonna fill my moon in. Nice and easy peasy. Don't get worked up about the gray, whatever color it is, because we're totally gonna go over top of our moon with a technique to give it kind of like the man in the moon cheesy look. So if you felt like you went a little dark right now, we're gonna cover it up anyway. Painting's all about layers. If we don't like this layer, we can fix next layer.
Hey, we got Kim from North Dakota.
We got someone from North Dakota, woohoo! Hi Kim, thanks for joining today. Let us know where you're from. We're from Spokane, Washington now. Can I say that now? Instead of saying we're from Maple Valley, but we moved to Spokane. Do you feel like it's been enough time, Mr. John? Okay, it's been 6 months. We're from Spokane, Washington now. I say now because, you know, we moved around a lot. Yeah, well, we did, and then we didn't. So are you guys munching on your favorite candy right now? The only ones we have, because I completely forgot to order some when I made the shopping list, was we have Kit Kats, and they will make me cough. So I didn't want any Kit Kats right now.
Carrie from Bellingham.
Bellingham, hey Carrie, how are the girls? She's been a great customer over there.
They got some friends over to paint too.
Oh, sweet.
We got a room full.
Hey guys, I want to see pictures. You guys always have the best pictures. And you know what? If you don't like the cat, you don't have to do the cat. But who doesn't like the cat? I mean, oh, John doesn't like cats. Shh. I know, right? Okay, so we are going to make a lighter color of pink and purple mixture. At least that's what I chose. And come in around the moon, then go darker from everything from that line out. We're gonna have some fun, and it's all about layers. We've done most of the hard work. And I do recommend that if you don't have chalk for chalking the kitty, if you didn't see that part of the supplies, that I would probably suggest, if you're a brand new artist, that somebody, or even you, draws the cat on paper, and then you can trace around them. All right, so I cleaned my paintbrush out. I dried my paintbrush out. Leaving too much water in your paintbrush makes your paint really watercolory, really see-through, and you can get the runs, which does not sound good.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I have dioxazine purple, which is, hello art snobs, it is a dark purple, that's it. And then I have just a regular old magenta. I think it's called fuchsia. It doesn't matter if you have artist paints or if you have craft paints. We're just happy that you're painting with us. So we're gonna go ahead and pull out some purple and pull out some pink, probably twice as much pink. So 2 scoops of pink, 1 scoop of purple. Now my paintbrush is real gross, right? If I went into my white, I would ruin the rest of the white. So I'm gonna come into the side of the white, kind of shovel. So I still have my fresh white to finish up everything else. Keep your circles kind of small. And you know, I feel like I'm still too purple, so I'm gonna shovel in some more pink. If you love it, that color purple, you don't worry about it. Make yourself happy. But it's just so much fun mixing paints. I know a lot of my friends that sell art kits, they pre-mix everything for you, and I think that's not, you took half the fun away. We want to mix our own paints. Okay, what we're gonna do is draw a great big circle around the moon. Just an echo. Ta-da! We made a donut. Yes! Everything's about food here. Just saying. Okay, so everything inside of the donut from the pink purple line to the gray moon is going to be pretty light. So if you feel like that line is darker than you want, simply just kind of clean your paintbrush out a little, just a little, and just grab some white. And it should mix. Now, I'm painting on paper. My paint absorbs almost instantly. So if you're painting on paper, like me today, you're gonna have to keep dipping in the paint. On your canvas, the paint stays a while before it's soaked in, sucked in. And that's because of the gesso, that white stuff that's sprayed on your canvas. But if you're like me and you're like, I want to paint, but I don't want to paint, one more canvas. I just put everything in my mixed media book, and this is my homeschool book for the kids art club. So I just keep everything in there. Yes, I stole my notebook for another class. That doesn't sound like me at all, does it, Mr. John?
Nope.
Mr. John's here. He's so happy to be here. It's like he's not even upset that he doesn't get to go outside and enjoy the sun.
I'm not upset.
Oh, good.
I like this.
Sweet. He likes talking to you guys. So if you guys want to talk to Mr. John by writing a question, go ahead and do that. If you have a friend with you today and it's their birthday, we'll give them a shout out. Just let us know. So that's going to be the lightest part of our sky. You could even go a little lighter if you wanted to. Just make yourself happy. I'm going to just run through it real quick with some white. So we're having a good day. My son's girlfriend, Miss Savannah, who's super delightful, is over today. And they're going to go to Scarywood, which is a theme park. And everyone, I think it's a total scare fest. So I'd rather stay home and eat the candy and watch like Twitches or Hocus Pocus, something like that. All right. I'm thinking we're probably ready to move on. So the next step, I'll probably pick up my big paintbrush, my 3/4 flat. If you don't have one, it's okay. You can stay with your medium round. But I do want my brush strokes to go a certain way. It just helps with this whole idea of drawing your eye. It's kind of like we painted an aura. So it draws your eye down to the focal point, which is the cat and the moon. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Simply, I'm going to mix a little bit of purple into my pink. Or if you hate the pink, just skip the pink. I think Chance was going to paint with us today. I don't know if he's doing it live, but he might not want the pink. He might be like, I want a teal sky. That would be gorgeous. So I added a little bit of pink and purple together. And I'm gonna go right up to my donut. And I'm painting in a circular fashion. And right now it's annoying because you can see this very contrasty line. Kind of looks like a rainbow stripe. Between, almost looks like there's a head and they got a hat on. But it's very annoying right now, but we're gonna fix that, don't worry. We're gonna make it more blendy than this. I'm gonna go right up to my pumpkin without going into my pumpkin because we're gonna be using orange later. Orange is one of those colors that's real see-through-y. It's real wimpy, so it doesn't have a lot of coverage. So if you're younger, tell me what you're gonna be for Halloween. I'm always the witch. There's a reason for that. Okay.
The witch's brew.
The witch's brew.
That's
So I just used my smaller paintbrush to get into the little nooks and crannies next to the pumpkin. And when you're ready, I'm just gonna pick up purple, a little pink if you want, and just fill in the outline, the rest of it.
Stephanie from Vancouver, Washington says, this is so cool.
Hey Steph, thanks for joining today. We do this regularly. We used to do it every Friday before the kids went back to school, you know, just when COVID happened. And we still like to do it. It gives you a great taste of how we paint or how we teach. If you're like, well, I might want to order something for them, but I don't know anything about them. Just know that our hearts are in kids and families. That includes mamas. We're not trying to be all things to all people. So it's a good way to see, you know, how do we paint? Plus, maybe you really needed this. Maybe, you know, finances suck right now, so you can't join a group. You know, you can't go to a paint event. Maybe you're sick and you can't go to a paint event. It's just a great way that we can just love on y'all a little bit and say thanks. We appreciate your company, your business. And some of you guys are so great. You just reach out and keep us company. Because, you know, working from home, I would have never thought this. I'm a very outgoing person. Working from home can be a little lonely. My husband works from home too, so it's not like I'm really alone. Ever. Never, ever, ever alone. Okay, so we have a pretty good first coat. The underpainting's almost completely done. Is that an animal? No. Okay, the underpainting's almost completely done. Underpainting for the art snobs is just the paint that's under that first coat, that first layer. And quite frankly, it's very interesting that they choose to call it that. So while our paint is a little wet, I like to address this line. It's so harsh. It looks like there's a moon and then there's a moon behind the moon. So we're gonna make this line a little blendy. How we do that is picking up both colors. So I'm gonna pick up the purple, pink, and some white and just kind of make that line a little blendy. It's a lot easier to do this on a canvas than it is to do it on paper because the paper wants the paint to dry right away. And we're just trying to make it a little bit more blendy and not so much rainbow stripe. So that worked a little bit better. We're gonna address the moon in just a second so that it really, really sticks out. But I know that you guys are painting on canvas most likely, so your paint is all real wet still. So we're gonna let that dry. So go ahead and clean your paintbrushes. Keep them clean. Hey guys, thanks for joining. Keep them dry, keep them dry. Oh, I had a paint accident in the studio this morning because I use reader glasses now. Yep, I'm that old. And I can't see close up and far away. So I had all of these colors on the studio floor and my sneaker. But that's okay. Hazel already bit a hole on the sneaker, so it's completely fine. All right, so we're talking the moon. My moon is dry. Yours is probably really close. Now the next step, you're gonna need a little tissue that's damp. Okay, not toilet tissue. That will just shred. So I mean a paper towel, or I have a wet wipe here. So it's damp, but nothing's coming out. So once you run over to the kitchen real quick and get a paper towel or a napkin, but no toilet paper because that will just shred. Or if you have a baby in the house, you can grab a wet wipe. So I'll give you a second to do that. I think I put that down on the supply list, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm drinking some of my bubbly water, so I'm gonna try really hard not to burp. That'd be nice for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kelly Sue. Just keeping it real. Okay, so we're gonna do the first step, which is to make a little bit of a darker gray than I painted the moon. Just a little bit, just a little darker, guys. A little darker. Okay, I have my tiny detail brush. If you have too much paint on it, just use the side. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in and I'm not gonna circle around the whole thing, but I'm just going to put a darker edge. I feel like I wanna go darker. Here and there on my circle. Ta-da.
So we have some costumes.
Ooh, like on now?
I don't know about on now, but we have Daphne's gonna be a witch, Addie's a sorceress, Ella's Jenny Weasley,
Jenny.
Brita's Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas.
What?
And,
Love it.
oh boy, Kaatri, Katri.
Uh-huh.
Sally from the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Jack and Sally.
Jack and Sally. So if this line is just too bold, you can always bring in some more white. Take your finger and kind of go blendy. Dip in white, what have ya, soften it up. But why don't we wait and see when we do the paper towel technique what we end up with. So if your paint, your white and black are divided up by that purple, you're gonna need to move your white and your black a little bit. So I'm gonna make white and darker gray.
Thanks for that, dog.
And which dog's visiting you?
Dang.
If you had silver, that would be beautiful on the moon. But I don't know that everyone has silver. So I'm just going to take my wet wipe or my damp paper towel and I'm going to crumble it up. And I'm going to dip in my darker gray right now. I'm going to start with that. I might change my mind. Okay, and my goal is to not go outside of the moon. So try to stay inside the moon. So I'm bouncing. I'm making it very man in the moon cheesy looking by bouncing. And you're gonna have to do this a couple times. Now, working on paper, it soaks in pretty quick. Another thing you can do, because I'm trying to give you some options here. Another thing you can do, and I don't have very much paint on here, guys. So maybe even load it and take some off. Another thing you can do is circles inside the moon with the gray here. So it's kind of smoky looking. Smoky. Kind of interesting looking. And then don't be afraid to come up right to the line. And this technique is how we do like the backgrounds to the graveyards or maybe dragon breath. Dragon's breath. Okay, so we do have some giveaways today. I just went back into some white. You need to comment something, anything, to be in the drawing. I'll show you what we're doing. We're going to give away one of our kids' art boxes. if you feel like, now that you painted it, if the outside is too dark, simply pick up some white and kind of go over that dark line. It's all about building up those layers. But we wanted to define the moon just a bit. Ooh. What would be pretty would be a harvest moon.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys working on that cheesy moon? You got some cheesy action happening in your moon?
Little moon cheese.
Little moon cheese.
Miss Kim says, I'm dressed up as a tired teacher because we Halloweened at school yesterday.
Oh, Kim, my hat goes off to you. I can teach all day in a studio setting or even in a, you know, like the wine bars and stuff. But I'll go into the school for an hour or two and I'm exhausted.
Oh, dang, girl.
Like we'll do EEP over the summer for Tahoma, and we have 109 students there, and we leave just like, oh, we're so tired. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Okay, so we're gonna give the pumpkin its first coat, and then we'll probably go to the hairdryer, and I think we'll be ready. Because definitely we'll want to give a little bit more love to the sky. We'll want to give a little bit more love around the sky. So what colors you got for your pumpkin? I'm using cad orange. Cad orange is not cat, it's cad. It's short for cadmium. It is a nice bright orange. You can see that there. If you choose to use like chromium orange, that's more of a brownish orange. Still works fine. Don't worry about it. And then there's a couple ways that you can do this. So if you penciled on your pumpkin design, I do recommend that you go over the shell, the segments, the whole pumpkin, just those lines we drew, the upside down U and the candy canes with a darker orange or a darker cinnamon brown is what I used. It helps. Yeah, it's called burnt sienna for those of you that care. Because I know not all of you will. And so it just helps the section stand out a little bit. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to do one section at a time. Hopefully try to stay inside the line, but no promises. I want to paint up and down, which is like the direction of the texture of each section. And I'm going to go down to the bottom. And we're going to just go section to section. And then when it's wet, we can do some stuff. Well, actually, we're going to let it dry and we're going to come back in. So we're going section by section. And this is where a round paintbrush really shines and is really useful because it holds a lot of paint, and you can almost see how the bristles are tapered. They're short on the side and really long in the middle. So they hold a lot of paint. They like to do circles. This would be, if you're coming in here with 3/4 flat or a flat brush, they have right angles. You would be going outside your lines more often than you care to. So, and it's okay if you just drew your segments with that dark brown and now you're going over each segment with orange and those are getting a little blurry. It's fine. Don't you worry about it. Oh, John's singing. Oh, those bubbles are coming back up. Okay, no more. Yeah, no more bubbly water for Miss Kelly Sue. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Now we know that a lot of people are going to be watching this on the replay because they just couldn't make today work. How do I know? Because I got lots of emails. So if you're watching this on a replay, let's say we're not going to do the giveaway until, let's say until Wednesday. So you have until Wednesday to make a comment or reach out somehow, either with email, Cleopatra@comcast.net, and tell us that you want to be on the giveaway. So I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to show you what we're going to give away because I know you guys are still painting. And we're going to go to the hairdryer here in a second. I don't want to get everyone's, I don't want to get your, if you're the winner, I don't want to get your stuff all messy. So let me clean up. Okay, so I'm giving away one of our kids' art boxes. And I know Mr. John put in the link how you could get on the wait list if you wanted one. We don't open up very often for new members, but we found that we had some spots available and we figure we're ready for some more. So it's a huge box this month. And you get the instructions, the tutorials, the paints, of course, all the paints. And I know they don't look like much. Let me show you what they work out to be. These are super cute. 2 little house shapes and a pumpkin. And this is what they work out to be. I love them so much. This fun little pumpkin and a fun little crow. You get 2 crows. I got distracted and only made myself one. And they sit up really well on a shelf, on a fireplace, on a table. Because they're flat on the bottom, they just sit. And these, the little orange balls, I know there's a lot of jokes you can make, but they're just feet. I just meant for them to be feet. Super cute. I love that design. Sometimes I just really love some of the things we put out. And then of course we have our collectible duck, quack quack. Little sticker and a little bag of goodies. This would be where you find your string and your little wood balls. What's that ginormous candy corn? It's a stress ball for kids because they're stressy. They get as stressed as adults do. And then our studio bubble gum. And then you gotta forgive me on this, but so many shreds. Oh, what is the painting? Hey, Mr. John, would you give me the painting? It's right behind the Hello Pumpkin sign.
Hello, pumpkin.
Okay, and so the painting this month, you get it pre-drawn, ready to go. No, it's below behind the Hello Pumpkin sign.
Oh.
Nope, that's not it either. Hello. Okay, I guess it's a surprise what the painting is this month. So it's, oh, I can show you here. It's super cute. It is super cute. It's a cat on a pumpkin, but it's going this way. And you get a extra project just to do whatever you want with. So on the wait list, we'll give away one free one for you and a friend. So get on the wait list. It doesn't mean you have to buy. We'll just send you correspondence when we're ready to open up. You can always say delete. I just wanted the freebie. That's fine. Been there, done that. But I'll let you know about that. It's super fun. You get one every other month. We found that going every month was just too much for the kids. We just put too much stuff in. It was too much for the kids. Ta-da. And don't get me wrong, we have some kids that really love going every month, and they have, but going every other month was just a lot easier for everybody. And it gives me an extra month to come up with an extra good project. Okay, so my background is dry. If yours is not, go ahead and go to the blow dryer. If yours is, I need a little bit more purple and pink. We're just going to carefully come in with 3/4 flat and some purple and pink. And you could water it down a little if you wanted to. And we're just going to go into the background, not the light area, but into the background and give that purple one more coat so it's deeper, just really deeper in color. So I like this texture here. I'm seeing on the camera, but I don't really see it in person, so I'm not sure what's happening there. That's from the light bouncing off of it, I think. So you're just gonna come in, still trying to paint kind of curvy, if you can. You don't wanna go up and down, we want curvy. I can hear the kids on the couch. Be careful of your pumpkin. And the second coat is really going to develop a really intense background. When it dries, it'll be gorgeous. Oops, we're going this way, sorry. I think I got some white on my paintbrush too.
Miss Michelle says Eric Bucks looks like a lot of fun.
Thanks, we really, we enjoy them, and we really enjoy getting the letters from the kids, how much they love them. You know who I'm noticing gets more of them is the kids that it's harder for them to get to a store to get supplies. So yeah, Maple Valley counts because there wasn't, Fred Meyer's got some supplies, but you know, there's not a Michael's right there. You know, down by the ocean shores, in some parts of Oregon, California, not the big cities. We're the little city people, I guess. We're a little city. Okay, so just take a second, finish up your background. I left everything else the way it is. Let me go in and fix my moon just a little bit. Painting on paper, it dries right away. I'm just gonna put some white around it. Just play with it a little bit. Play with your art. Find your own style. Do I want yours to look just like mine? No, I don't. You don't even have to draw a cat. Yours could be an owl. You could turn it into a dog. You could put the handle on there. I want you to make yourself very happy. All right, are we ready? So let me pull out the original. So do you see what we need in the sky? A lot of brush strokes in a curvy fashion that makes it a hot mess. But what it does is going to draw your eye down to this moon and cat. So I would start with white first, and then I would do some other colors. And I did end up using copper also. So let's start with white. We're going to go smaller, curvy brush strokes inside the purple donut. As we go towards the outside, our curvy little smiles are going to get a little bit longer until they're super long. You can hear Sean. Okay, here's a trick. If your paint stutters, here's a good example of a stutter where it's pretty solid and then not a lot happening. It means your paint is a little heavy for what you're trying to do. So all you have to do is get some water, just a little water, and thin down your paint. And then that should get rid of all of that. So if your paint is stuttering, simply water it down a little. And so up here, I think we neglect this area a lot. So every now and then have one that's coming down. If that's too much for you, don't worry about it. It was just something I was worried about. So we're going to do that same step with pink, with purple, and I chose to use copper as well. If you're like, lady, what's copper? Copper is this metallic brownish red. If you don't want to use it, that's fine. It's actually almost the same color as the burnt sienna, or we call it cinnamon because, hello, it looks like cinnamon. So, oops, I should, cinnamon. Little tiny little curls or smiles next to the moon. Getting a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. I'm using magenta. Once again, I think this would be really pretty in teal. And I'm like, I should have tried teal, but purple's kind of like that. It's a Halloween color, you know? When you're ready, go to just purple. It will show because we use purple pink in the background. See, it's gonna show. I just need more.
Oh, I see it.
Crack me up, John. Okay, little next to the moon. I'm just using a smallish paintbrush. It's not even my best one. Ta-da! All the way in the outside. It's fine if your peas and carrots touch. If your pink, purple, and white touch, it's okay. If you're painting on canvas and they touch, they'll probably get a little blendy. That's cool. So I was sure Mr. John was going to dress up for this.
I thought about it. In fact, I almost ran downstairs and got one.
Got goofy?
Yep.
I figured he'd dress up. He's got this goofy costume that is so hot. He wore it with Miss Sabrina and they ran a 5K in the hottest day of the year. I thought he was going to pass out when he came across the finish line. So I'm going to go ahead and use my copper so that you see what we have. Okay, my hair looks really carrot orange under these lights. Please change these lights out, Mr. John.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so I'm looking and I didn't use the copper in the light area. Can you see? This would be like the copper here and it's kind of shimmery. But I didn't use it next to the moon for whatever reason. Oh, uh-oh. Kitty got coppered. Copper kitty. Okay. Okay. Just a regular day here at Cleopatra Art Studios. Just keeping those smiles curvy. And I don't like to leave the area around the pumpkin without some too. So it's just a hot mess that's outside. And if you got a hot mess, awesome. And quite frankly, to tell you the truth, this looks a lot better when it dries. It really does.
And you got a hot mess.
And you got a hot mess. And you got a hot mess. Yeah. So if you need a second to go clean your water buckets, and it's McNasty, this would probably be a good time to do that. We're going to move on to the pumpkin. Mine's dry. I guess I didn't have to go to the blow dryer. There's a couple areas that are iffy, but I'm calling it good. If you need to go to the blow dryer, go ahead and do that real quick. If you need to change your water, go ahead. If you just need to stretch, go ahead. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, we did a lot. It says 47 minutes already. Wow, we've done a lot, guys. So we're going to work on the pumpkin to make it a little more pumpkin-y. And then we'll blow dry, put the cat in, the grass, the bats if you want them. I guess they're over here. Mine look a little bit more like pterodactyls, but
Pterodactyl.
it's okay. You're gonna need a round paintbrush for the next step on the pumpkins. We're gonna go into the orange and we're going to paint each section. Now it's okay because they're outlined with that brown. And remember, the bottom's gonna be black. It's gonna be grass. You don't necessarily have to bring it all the way to the bottom if you didn't want to. And I'm talking to you kids because you're starting to think, yeah, I really don't want to do that again. Well, I get it. There's nothing more painful and boring than doing something one more time, but we want this pumpkin a little wet so we can add some magic to it. Magic. Well, we hope you're painting with your kids, and if not, we hope that you're getting some stuff done while your kids are painting with us. Whatever you need. And I just love this second coat of orange. It hides that white canvas completely. One of the bassets needs out. Big surprise there. Hey guys, thanks for joining today. We really appreciate you watching. You can catch the replay as soon as we're done and gather the supplies. and paint this. This would be a great fun activity tomorrow if you live in an area where you can't get out and go to the pumpkin patch tomorrow. Better be on our list tomorrow, just saying, pumpkin patch, pumpkin patch. Okay, while that paint's still wet, we're gonna do a couple things. We want yellow now. Go ahead and keep that brown on your plate. Some red. Just, you see, I'm not throwing a bunch on there. Size of a pea. Don't waste your paint. You want to create as much as you can. And I'm going to get some fresh white. Okay. What I'm going to do is take my same paintbrush. And if you want, because your orange is dark or wet, you can go in with your cinnamon again. But what I did instead, I'm going to take a smaller paintbrush. What I did instead was come in with red. And I didn't bring it all the way down. So it's mainly at the top. How's it dry, Miss Kelly Sue? I think it dries pretty awesome. I'm not done with it after all. Okay. And if you feel like the red is just too bam in your face, you can completely go over it and soften it with some more orange. So I just kind of outlined in red. While my paint is still wet, I like to come in and bring some yellow, kind of like right next to the red. It helps the sections, that's really chunky there, helps the sections, that's chunky too, pop a little bit so you can see the deep grooves, the higher areas. If you feel like, man, that's really obnoxious, it's really there, you can always go over it, soften it with some orange if you wanted to. I actually like it. I feel like when it dries, it makes it really interesting. And then you can put some yellow at the top, and that would be where the light is hitting the pumpkin. Honestly, the light source is behind the pumpkin. Let's just pretend we got a flashlight in the front. Yes, this pumpkin should be black for all we know because the light source is behind the pumpkin. But for this class, we're going to pretend like somebody's, you know, the house is lighting up the pumpkin. Something's happening there. If you have copper, you can stick some copper in there. I just love it when it dries. Kind of think about the bottom would be a little bit more shaded. I'm just, look at that. How easy was that? Blah, 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 blah. Why didn't I go all the way to the bottom? My black's going to cover it up anyway, guys. I'm not too worried about it. Ooh, I love the copper. When do you stop? When you start asking yourself. And then I finally have, with my skinny paintbrush, I just have a little bit of white. Not a lot. Just a little itty bitty. Little bit of white. Okay, maybe, may your white be cleaner than my white. That's all I want to say. Just at the tops. Mine has a little bit of red going in them. So when it dries, it looks really interesting, you guys.
Looks good.
When it's dry, this one looks fatter. I like it. It's because the kitty's sitting down low.
Kitty squished the pumpkin.
Kitty's sitting right on that stem. Ouch. I love working with my husband. Okay. All right. So take a look. See if there's anything else you want to do. Let's hit the blow dryer, and then we're going to put the cat in, the grass, and all the little nuggets. So meet you back here in just a second, guys.
Music to play or something.
I know. Da, 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 do, do, do. Ta-da! So give us a thumbs up when you're ready to move on. How's the drag time or the lag time today, hun?
You were doing great.
Well, I meant the machine.
Do something.
So that moved. Oh, okay. So it moved. There we go.
Touch your pumpkin.
Right here? I'm touching my pumpkin. Okay, I see. Oh, yeah, there's maybe a 5-second lag.
If that.
Okay, so feeling pretty good about that?
Pretty good.
Okay.
A lot better than it was.
Okay, that's true. So guys, for the next step, you can use kids chalk if you want. If your painting's completely dry, you can use, clean your paintbrushes. You can use a Sharpie. Or if you're brand new to drawing, what you can do is draw with the same steps we're going to give you on a piece of paper. Cut out your cat and then trace around it. That works too. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see my chalk, so I'm going to probably just use Sharpie. And I'm going to show you real quick how we're going to draw this cat. If you have a better way of drawing your cat, you go for it. So our cat is pretty simple. It's pretend like we're just making a vase. So we're going to start with a skinny neck, and we're just going to kind of flare out like we're making a base. We're going to put an oval for the face. Okay, he's got a really big head. Triangles for the ears. The feet is going to be a C and a backwards C. And then just a tail. So pretty simple. And then we kind of flare it out with some fur. So real quick, some fur. So I know I want my head kind of in the center of the moon. So I want my bottle to start, okay, if this is the center of the moon, to start kind of low end of the moon. So I'm just going to put 2 lines side by side, and maybe 1.5 of my fingers fit, so probably 2 of yours would fit. I have big fingers, big fingers. Okay, and I know I want to go to the pumpkin top or even down just a little bit. So I'm going to come down, and if you flare it a lot, he's going to be a fat kitty, and if you keep it kind of tight, he'll be a skinny kitty. So it just depends what you're looking for. We're making him fat. We're going big. Go big or go, yep, go big. Go big. And you can go ahead and cover it, or, you know, like complete the bottom with a curved line. So give a little thumbs up when you're ready. Now in my original, I went a little lower on this section here, but I thought, yeah, I don't need to this time. I'm going to go ahead and draw an oval for his face, and I can always paint it bigger. So this is just a general drawing to get us generally there. We can change up the, you know, the sizing with paint. It's fine. And then my ears, I got triangles for ears. Ta-da. Let's go ahead and draw the eyes. And do you guys remember what I always say when it comes time to draw eyes?
Ooh.
What, Mr. John?
Make them small. No, make them big.
Make them bigger than what you want. Because when you trace around them with paint, they tend to get smaller. So I'm going to make my eyes kind of large for the eyes, or for the face size. And I made them oval, but you could choose a different shape. And I know that I'm going to want the black part of the eye like really big, and then a little color. And I chose green, so that means I need 2 U's towards, like 1 in the middle and 1 at the bottom. one in the middle, one at the bottom. I'm gonna get a little closer so you can see that. This eye looks a little bit bigger, and it's okay, I can fix that with paint. Let's talk about the feet. The feet are really cool. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a C and a backward C. So he's kind of standing like that. C and a backward C. And right above the backward C, hold on a second. Are we backwards on this painting? We are. How did we get backwards? Oh, here we go. Now you guys can see. Except you've been going that way the whole time. So we're good. Okay, hold on a second. So when you see this, yeah, we'll do it this way. Okay. Ta-da. Yeah. Okay. So yours. Okay, we got this. Right above. I thought I fixed that for. I should have looked at. The reason why I wear words is so I can tell that I have it backwards. So right above his foot, we're gonna make a hooked, like a candy cane kind of tail, and I like to go up in to the moon so that there's the contrast between the dark kitty and the moon. And then I'm gonna just candy cane them and come back. This gives us a big area for the spider. And you could draw the spider if you wanted to, if it makes it easier for you. I'll go ahead. So the spider is just a candy cane down and a circle for the head, circle for the body, and the legs. Now I would still want to paint this in, even though I'm using a dark Sharpie. I'd still want to paint that in. And we are simply going to start painting them in with black. If you're choosing another color, I don't know that this is the painting for you because the background is so dark. You'd have to paint over the kitty several times to make them lighter. Let's just make a Halloween cat together, and you can always redo the painting with the color that you want. So I didn't do a good job of cleaning out my paintbrushes, so give me a second, guys. So I'm gonna use a smaller paintbrush, but it's not really small. Like this is I would call this a detail brush. It's pretty small. And then this one, you can see everything's kind of all spread out. That's the one I'm using. So I got my black, and you're simply going to draw, hold on. Make sure you keep the water all the way out of your paintbrush, guys. We're just going to outline.
I told them earlier, like you said, don't get the runs.
Yep, definitely not. And then fill in that section. If your paintbrush is too big, you're probably going outside the lines. So try really hard to pick the right size paintbrush. I'm gonna see if I can't raise this up a little bit so you guys can see better, since we're just talking some details. There we go. I think that helps, right guys? Got you closer, since some of the details are really small. So I'm just gonna go around very carefully. If you press hard, you're gonna get a real fat line. So redraw, careful. Now, when it comes time to do the eyes, honestly, you can do them any way you want. Adorable eyes, anime eyes, freaky eyes.
Gross.
Okay. And then I like to paint in the top of the eye. Don't worry, we'll bring it back. We're gonna bring it back. So I just kept these two sections. A real skinny smile and a real skinny smile. If you've forgotten you painted them in completely, don't worry. Paint's gonna fix that. You're just gonna simply blow dry and come back, paint your oval white, and start over. Hey guys, thanks for joining. I see a lot of people popping in, popping off. Gonna outline our vase. and you think he's not very skinny or he's not very fat, I'm gonna fatten him up here. You watch. And I'm gonna paint up and down brush strokes to help mimic fur. Fur. So how's it going in your house? Are you painting together with your kids? Is it going good? Is it not? One of the things we found with having a studio for 9 years is that unless you actually hear those questions, like that ask that, hey, can I get some help from you here? Then, you know, let your kid muddle through. They're not going to be as proud of the work if you did it for them. They're really not. And then you're going to look at their career in art and see, hey, when he was 6 years old, his work was fabulous. And then it went downhill, and then it got good again. Well, that's because mom did the work or grandma did the work. So let them do as much as they can, even if it's not finished in your eyes. It's all about uplifting and helping and making sure everyone is not frustrated. I'm gonna paint my candy cane. I'm not done with him. He looks a little too smooth.
What's your favorite Halloween candy, Miss Casey?
Oh, thank you for asking me. Well, I do really like the candy pumpkins, not the candy corn. And then when my kids bring their candy home, I eat all their Almond Joys, like right then. How about you, Mr. John?
You know, I'm not much of a candy guy.
He doesn't. But he'll eat the Kit Kats and the
I like
Twixes.
the licorice.
Oh, the licorice, the red stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't know how we could be together for so long. It's because he eats the bad candy of the world and leaves the best candy for me. Okay, if you like your kitty skinny like that, go ahead and keep him just the way he is. Let me show you. Mine gets a little help with some fur. If you like that idea, simply grab your small paintbrush and some black paint, and we're gonna do some whoop, 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 whoop. We're just gonna pretend like his fur is kind of sticking out there. And I didn't do it on his face. Honestly, the first one I did, and he looked like there was something wrong. Because, you know, not every one of my paintings is great, too. Sometimes you just can't win them all. And that's going to stand out more when we put a little gray or silver on it here in a minute. Go ahead and I feel like I could have brought him down a little bit lower. Maybe I'll make his feet really big. We'll call him Padfoot. Okay, so you could go ahead and paint a candy cane and the spider if you haven't. How we do? Time check.
Oh, 408.
We're doing a fabulous. We just have some detail work. Ta-da! And we're gonna do some highlighting, and that'll help them pop out. Now, if you need a few minutes, take it on the kitty, because you can come and do this step later. I end up putting a little grassy curved line at the bottom. I need a bigger paintbrush. Bigger paintbrush. I take my medium round with some black, and I don't want to cover up all my pumpkin, but I want it to be snuggled down. If your paintbrush is real watery, this will be real gray. Make sure you dry your paintbrush. You can always blow dry this and give it a second coat. So the bottom is black now. We cut off the pumpkin a little. And with our other paintbrush, our tinier one, we're going to start in the center and do some short lines up, kind of like a little tuft of grass. Let's see if you can see that. And they fan out. So it was kind of fanned out. So here's the center, and then everything else is gonna go this way on this side and this way on this side. And then we're gonna come back and fix that. Just putting in some grasses. On this side, they're all going this way. And on this side, they're all gonna go this way for now. We're gonna fix that. Ta-da! If you feel like that's enough, you know, it's fine. You can just leave it like that. If you want to do more, now you can crisscross. So you have grass that is not behaving. It's doing a little this, it's doing a little that.
Maybe
The wind's doing something. So it's just all snuggled. And we're gonna add some silver or gray in a few minutes just to highlight that a little. It's okay if yours all just go up and down, but I like to put a little bend in mine. So the grass is having fun too. Ta-da. Ta-da. Okay, good. All right, so go ahead and clean your paintbrush. Oh, no, let's do the bats. All right, so you might have a better way of doing bats. This is how I do it. Kind of like birds in the sky with a jelly bean. Let's do it on this side. So I like to do it like this. I like to do like a little jelly bean. You can even give them a little head if you wanted to. And then I like to go U, long U. And then I like to do upside down U or frown, upside, and I like them to connect. Just call them smiles and frowns. Here we go, ready? 1 smile, 2 smile, 3. And then I'm gonna do frown, frown, and then I wanna angle the frown so they meet. Okay, so there's that kind of bat. And if you feel like, oh, his body needs to be bigger, go ahead and make him bigger now. Yeah, that looks a lot better, right? You can still do birds in the sky. You know, give him a jelly bean body if you wanted to, a little head. We don't know. That one's on a mission. He is. Or you can do it with kind of like spiky wings. Let's try it. Okay, so I have one. Let's give a little head and a jelly bean body. And it might be easier to just do this with a Sharpie, which I'm thinking it might be just easier for me to do it with a Sharpie. Okay, because my box is really high. I'm gonna do a smile, a smile, a smile. See if you guys can see that. Okay. And now I'm going to do a frown, an angle. So they touch. And then I'm going to do this left-handed, guys. Oof. I'll do this side. Smile. Ooh, smile, smile. He's wounded. Okay. Frown, frown, frown. Okay. Yes, so my favorite Bugs Bunny cartoon is the one where he stops in Transylvania. I think he pops up. He's going under the ground. Blah, blah, blah. He pops up and he's like, I'm on vacation. Here I am in Bermuda. And he's really in Transylvania, you know, home of the vampire. And he's always singing hocus pocus, and the vampire goes into a bat and into a person every time he goes abracadabra. I don't know. Let me know a thumbs up if you've seen that one. If not, you have homework for tonight. Okay.
She earned a thumbs up on that anyway. Give her one.
Give me a thumbs up.
Oh, please.
Oh my
Please
gosh.
give me a thumbs
Okay.
up.
So I don't know what's going on with that bat. He kind of looks like he's a duck and he got hit. Okay, normally I do better with mine. Okay, so I'm just gonna do like another one. I'm just gonna give him a wiggly little wiggly. There, that one's way better. Abracadabra. There you go. We know they're bats, don't we? Oh, guys, thanks for watching today. We wouldn't be where we are without you guys. You guys, you know, we had a pivot, and if you don't know us, we had a business, had been there for a long time. I think we were doing pretty good. And with COVID, we had to close down, and we just were doing classes, and finally we decided, hey guys, would it be okay if we did kits? Would anybody buy a kit from us? And you guys were all loving on us so much that we can't forget you. We want to keep loving on you and give you these free events. Feel free to share them. And I know we're not supposed to say that because we get penalized. But feel free, it's okay if you're a teacher and you want to do this in class. I think oil pastels would be beautiful, maybe a cutout kitty. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with, I have a little green, but I noticed my green wasn't limey enough for me. Okay, green, where are ya? So I'm gonna use festive green, and right away, that probably is gonna tell you it's not gonna be limey enough. I want it to have like lime green. Festive to me is, you know, like tree. So I'm gonna add some yellow to it to make it limey. And I'm gonna go in there as best as I can. Sabrina, we can all hear you in the Facebook world. So why don't you come up and paint with Mom? She's like, what? Okay, so I still have my whites showing, and you can always come back and make it a little better if you wanted to, you know. And by showing a little white underneath the color, it looks like he's kind of like begging, like but cat style. What's a cat do to beg, John?
I don't think they do beg.
Yeah, they probably just smack you alongside of the head.
They say what?
They're like, here you go, whack. Okay, so I did all the detail work with silver, and if you don't have silver, you can use gray. So make yourself a little gray. What you don't want to use is white. It's too contrasty with the black kitty. So I'm just, oops, that's way too much. I have metallic gray. I'm going to use it. You don't have to. Mix yourself up a little gray. So I'm going to go into the ear, and we're just going to go into the ear and paint a triangle inside the ears. You know, on my original, I don't remember if I had hair on the top of his head or not. Super fun. And then we want to highlight the cheeks. So just a little skinny line.
Kitty got some mohawk.
Kitty's got a mohawk. If it's too much, you can use your finger to blend it down and make it soft. I feel like I need my smaller paintbrush. That one's too big. Okay. So I'm bringing out my detail brush. This is just a modeling painting brush to paint little modeling trains and stuff. So I want to just go on the little hairs with a little zigzag. And this outline will help him stand out a little bit more. What are they watching? Is it Halloween movies? Hocus pocus. Abracadabra. Okay, so I went on either side of my kitty. So the details go kind of quickly. If you feel like you're getting a little behind, don't worry. As soon as we're done, you can access the video right here, and then what we'll do, what you can do is fast forward to the end. Okay, And then I just put underneath his chin, I just put a bunch of little brush strokes to help his face pop out. Okay, technically, again, because the light source is behind him, that would never happen. So clearly there is a flashlight up front. Okay, you can also put a couple more brush strokes here and there if you wanted to. I put a little outline in the tail. Just kind of raced it around. It really helps him pop out. And if you were doing that in white, it would really be a lot. Okay, right between the center on the bottom, I draw a straight line. And it's gonna come kind of wrap around this way and wrap around that way. And we're gonna give him ginormous feet. So we're gonna go around the C and the backward C. Okay, and we're gonna simply give him a couple little, curved lines for toes. Ta-da! Now his face, let's work on his kitty cat face. So with a very tiny paintbrush at the top of his eyes, we're going to put, I like that one better. I wonder if I can wipe that off. I guess it's not that important, but we're just going to go around the top of his eye. Yep, I got it. Around the top of his eye, and I'm gonna meet that smile that's green. I'm gonna do it on the other side. And I'm gonna pick up a little bit more paint a very tiny heart nose. It's so small. Can't draw a heart? That's okay. Just put a little dot. And you can give him the little kitty smile. Okay, may yours be straighter than mine. Okay, yeah, mine's totally not straight. I was waiting for the replay there. Whoop. It's okay. It's just paint. I could come in with black and fix it. Remember, my box is really high. I'm really reaching. Okay, so I feel like kitty, we're almost okay. Inside the eye, I'm gonna flip my paintbrush upside down, dip in white, and I'm gonna give him some like little adorable eyes. I'm gonna do a couple dots. If they fit, to show that he's alive. He's got some eye gleam. He's really alive. He's very cute. And I want you to do something for me. Don't decide right now if you like this painting or not, because as it dries, the paint does some magic. It's called curing, and it's going to look even better if you let it wait and dry, and then you decide tomorrow whether you like it or not. I have a little silver. I'm going to go on my big spider web candy cane and put a little frown in the spider's head and around the body. You could do the legs, sure. Let's do the legs. You could do a little on the bats. It's not going to hurt. It can only help. My duck bats. I'm trying to do them with them really tall. Woo! That one's a seagull. Okay, that would only help. And then in the grass, I'm just gonna come and just do it real randomly. Remember, we got a light source somewhere in the front, so we're lighting up the grasses. Just some little brush strokes. Abracadabra. It's stuck in my head now, guys. I just can't get it out of my head. So you're just gonna kind of jazz up the grass with that silver. White would be too contrasty. It wouldn't be the right thing to do, guys. Okay, now in the original, and you can just think about this. You don't have to do this now. In my original, I had a face on my pumpkin. So you could take chalk, and your pumpkin is dry, and draw a face. And then you can paint that face white, blow dry it, and paint it yellow. And then what you can do is you can, help me out here, outline it in brown. So let me just do one. I'll just do the eyes. So I'm just going to do triangle eyes, just real typical triangle eyes. You're going to paint them white. Well, I left that paintbrush sitting there to dry, didn't I? That paintbrush is too big. Okay, I'm going to take this one. I'm just going to paint them white. And I'm probably going to be able to do this because my paper will just suck in that paint. But you're going to have to go to the blow dryer. He's so loud. Okay, so that will dry. And then you'll come in with your, it's almost dry. Come in with your color for the light coming through, and you'll give them a nose, you'll give them a mouth, anything you want. Ta-da! Ta-da! There you go. And then you would totally do the other features, and with a small paintbrush and the cinnamon brown, you would outline so you could see the shell. Now you wouldn't be able to do that on all sides. So you can do this because that's where you are in the art world, or you can just shadow it the way you're supposed to from perspective if you wanted to, if you want to get real persnickety about it. But got a lot of kids painting this. We want them to be happy. But you're going to want to outline. I don't think you're going to want to outline in black. You can always go in and put some more yellow if you wanted to on your different features. So definitely put the rest of the face on if you want to. It's totally up to you. I want to say goodbye. Thank you so much for painting. And remember, if you want to win a giveaway box, hold on a second. Boom. Yes, there we go. If you want to win one of our, oh, you can't see my cat. I'm probably going to lose you. Oh, you didn't fall. First time all week. If you want to win one of our kid boxes, we'll give it away one here. All you have to do is say something, or you can click that link and you can win two. Now, there's under 100 people on the list, so it's a pretty good chance you're going to win one or two. And so we'll send you two, and you can then give one of the boxes to your kid's best friend or sister, or keep it for yourself because you like it. It won't be this, oh, it will be this box, right? Yeah, it's going to be this box with the cute painting that you did not see because I cleaned the studio, what happened. But the cute little projects we have inside the box, and the painting and all the extra stuff. So thanks for painting along with me today. And we just hope you feel a little bit more loved and that you got to get some paint on with your family before you get...
She's going to paint with her nephews tomorrow.
Yay! That's awesome, Kim. Thanks. Thanks for joining. And big shout out for Mr. John. Thanks for all your help, buddy. He's the best. Okay, bye guys. It's going to take me a minute because I forget how to do this. There we go.